them so that they become smoothness maps in Unity. In Unity, smoothness is a glossiness map, which is just an invert of roughness. So we just need to set this up, again, manually, because at the recording of this video, like I said, the plugin's not working with these HDRP shaders, and it doesn't know how to pack these channels just yet. So I'm going to hit the space bar, and I'm going to just create an invert grayscale, and then simply take my roughness, plug it into the invert grayscale, take the output of this invert grayscale, plug it into the alpha, and we are good to go. So that's all we need to do to create this specific mask map that you see here for this output. So now I can just save this, and I'm going to publish this substance, and in my case, I'm just going to publish it here to my desktop. Yep, we'll replace it, and here you can see I'm just going to leave everything at the default settings, and then we're just going to, like I said, publish this substance. Now, we'll jump back over into Unity, and I'm going to import in this substance material. Okay, so here we are back in Unity. Let's import that substance material into our project. So I'm going to right-click, import new asset, go to my desktop, and let's grab the dirt ground SBSAR file and import. So that is going to create here the substance object, and if you look, if I expand the resources here for the substance object, we do have a Unity material that's generated for me. Like I said, since we're not supporting HDRP at the recording of this video, you can see the material is just pink, meaning that it's not set to work with an HDRP shader. What I'm showcasing here is that I just bypass this material altogether, and I just create my own custom material, and I'm going to work with this one instead. However, you can see we do have all of our substance textures that we need. So let's go over to the substance graph object, and here at the top, there's an option to generate all outputs. I want to check this here, and that is going to generate for me here that mask map. So this is that custom output that we created in Designer just moments ago. Now let's go over to that material that I created, and this is the Unity material that has the HDR render pipeline lit tessellation shader, and let's fill in these inputs. So we're going to take our base color, we're going to plug that into here. Let's take our mask map and place that here into the mask map input. Now let's grab our normal map, we'll plug that into here, and then we also have a height map, and that is because, again, we set the displacement mode here to tessellation displacement, so now we have this height input, and let's grab our height map and plug that in as well. So now we have everything set up. Actually, let's make a few changes here to this height map. I'm going to set this to amplitude, and for the amplitude, I'm going to set this to a value of like 150. So you can see we're starting to see some displacement here. It's pretty crazy, but we'll see what it looks like when we actually assign it here to the material. I'm sorry, to the plane in our scene. So let's grab our material and just left-click and just start to drag and drop that here into our scene like this. And here we go. So I'll zoom in, and you can see, well, we start to have some displacement here. Alright, so you can see that that's all we need to do to get the substance outputs to work with this HDRP shader here inside of Unity. One other thing I want to do is I want to come over here to my substance, and the target width and height for this is pretty low, so I'm going to set this to 2048 by 2048. Click Apply. The substance engine is now going to regenerate all my maps at this new target and width height, as indicated here in my target settings. Alright, so now we have a 2K texture here on my ground plane, so this is set up correctly. Just now take a look at maybe playing around with my lighting here just a little bit. Like I said, we'll probably need to do some more tweaks to this. Actually, let's just take a look at just some other material settings first before we get too involved in this. And also another thing is I might try to start to set up my camera just a little bit. So let me just kind of zoom in here and get something going. Also just kind of checking out my camera view here. Okay, so now that we have this set up, like I said, we're going to jump back over here to our material. I think everything's pretty much set up. I'm going to make a few changes, like I'm going to take my triangle size down to, let's say, 10 here. The tessellation factor, I already set this to its max value. We could also play around with the start and end fade distance as well. Maybe we'll come back to that a bit later. Now, something else I'm going to do, if I come over here to my substance graph, I do have some parameters that I expose. So I'm going to take my water level, and I'm going to set this value up here, and then also I'm going to make a change here to this edge wetness distance, so I'm going to increase this value a little bit here as well. All right, so now you can see that we're starting to get some changes here to our texture outputs as generated by the Substance engine. So let me just make just a little bit of change here. So I actually think this is going to kind of work for me. And so now what we're going to do is start to look at our volume settings once again. So now I'm going to come over to the hierarchy and click this volume settings. And so far you can see that we've only enabled our sky and our visual environment. So let's take a look at adding some more of these